Hi, welcome to my video on division of rational expressions. When simplifying division of rational expressions, the first step is to multiply by the reciprocal and then follow multiplication rules. Let's do some examples. Simplify each A. When we're dividing, we multiply by the reciprocal, so 4x over 7 multiplied by the reciprocal, which is 7 over 3x. And since we're multiplying, we cancel from top to bottom, so the 7's can cancel. 4x and 3x, the x can cancel. X into 4x goes 4. 3x divided by x is 3, so the answer becomes 4 over 3. 4 times 1, 1 times 3. B. When we're dividing rational expressions, we multiply by the reciprocal. So we're dividing, so we multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal is 5 over 3 times x minus 4. And since we're multiplying, we will cancel anywhere from top to bottom. So let's cancel the 5's and the x minus 4. And so we get x times 1 is x, and 1 times 3 times 1 is 3. And again, we're dividing rational expressions, so I multiply by the reciprocal, 2x. So I do not change the 1 on the left. I multiply by the reciprocal of the 1 that's on the right. So 5 times x minus 1 goes on top, and x times x minus 3 goes on the bottom. Since we're multiplying rational expressions, we cancel anywhere from top to bottom. So I see 2x and an x, so x into 2x goes 2, x into x goes 1. X plus 3 is not on the bottom, so I cannot cancel. The 5 cancels into 5 once, and the 5 into 5 once. The x minus 1's cancel once. And so 2 times x plus 3 over 1 x minus 3. Notice you cannot cancel these because they're not the same. D, we're dividing, so we multiply by the reciprocal, x squared minus 25 divided by 7x minus 7 times the reciprocal, x squared minus 1, x squared. So notice the reciprocal, we just reversed it upside down, turned it over, and now we cancel, but before we cancel, we got to make sure everything is factored. In this one right here, everything was factored, so all you had to do was cancel. So now I have to factor x squared minus 25 is x and x. 25 is 5 and 5 with a plus and a minus, because that's the difference of two squares. Notice right here, 7 is the GCF. Take the 7 out. 7x divided by 7 is x. Negative 7 divided by 7 is negative 1 times. Again, we have x squared minus 1. The difference of two squares is x and x. 1 is 1 times 1, and is a plus and a minus, because that's x squared minus 1 squared. So the difference of two squares. And this is a 1. When we have a 1, we can go with double brackets. X squared is x times x. Factors of 5 are 5 and 1. That's the product. Product is plus 5. The sum is negative 6. Because the product is positive, I will have 2 of the middle signs. Because if the sum is negative, then I must have 2 negatives. Why? When you multiply negative 5, negative 1, you get a positive 5. When you add, you get a negative 6. Now that I have everything factored, I'll cancel. Any plus 5s down the bottom? Nope. Any minus 5s down the bottom? Yes. Any plus 1s down the bottom? Nope. Any minus 1s down the bottom? Yes, I can cancel here or here, either one will do. Let's do this one. So now I get x plus 5 times x plus 1. And on the bottom, I got 7 times x minus 1. E, when we're dividing, we multiply by the reciprocal. So let's multiply by the reciprocal. Notice I'm doing one step at a time. So the reciprocal on the right side is you switch it. The numerator goes to the denominator goes to the numerator. Now I have to factor. And again we have a 1, so we have double brackets. X squared is x and x. The factors of 12 to give you a 7 is a 12. Factors of 12 are 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. So the factors of 12 to give you a 7 is 3 and 4. Since the product is positive and the sum is positive, it must be 2 pluses. And denominator, again, I have a 1, so it's a double bracket. X squared is x and x. Again, I have the factors of 12. The factors of 12 to give me a 1, but this time the product is negative, so I'm subtracting my factors. So what factors of 12 when you subtract to give you 1? Again, 1 and 12 you subtract is 11. That's a 4 when you subtract, there's a 1. So again, it's a 3 and a 4. But because it's a negative, that means I have a plus and a minus. So which one is plus and which one is minus? So the 3 is a plus and the 4 is a minus. Because when you multiply 3 and negative 4, you get negative 12. When you add, you get negative 1. Factor again, I have a 1, so it's a double bracket. X squared is x and x. And again, I got the factors of 12. That, notice the product is positive, so the factors add to give you negative 7. What ones add? That's a 13, that's an 8. Oh, 3 and 4 again. And because the product is positive, I have to have 2 negatives. Because a positive product is either 2 negatives or 2 positives. Because the sum is negative, then negative 3, negative 4. And that's a 1. Again, I have a double bracket. X squared is x and x. Factors of 12. So it's a negative 12, so the factors are positive and negative, but they differ by positive 1. Differ by 1? Nope. 11, 4, 1. Again, I got a 3 and a 4. Because the product is negative 12, I have to subtract to get 1, positive 1. So that means the 3 is negative and the 4 is positive. Again, multiply. Negative 12. Add. Plus 1. So we have them all factored. Cancel. X plus 3 cancels top and bottom. X plus 4 over here. So we cancel there and there. X minus 3. Yes. X minus 4. Yes. And we have a 1 on the top, a 1 on the bottom, and that becomes 1 for my answer. Again, notice we cancel top to bottom anywhere if we're multiplying. We can only cancel when we're multiplying. And F, again, it's right down the left side without changing it. And we're dividing, so we multiply by the reciprocal. So we have the right side flipped around, and now we factor 8, 32, 8 is the GCF, so 8x divided by 8 is x, negative 32 divided by 8 is negative 4. And we have a 7, 7 is not a GCF, so we have to go product. Because 7 is not a GCF, 7 times 1 is 7. The sum is 8. Factors of 7 are 1 times 7, and 1 and 7 multiplies to give you 7, adds to give you 8. So those are the two factors. So we'll take the 7x squared. We take the 1 and the 7, put them in the middle, and we got, so what we're doing, we split the 7x squared, and the 1 goes at the beginning and at the end, and the 1 times 7 becomes 1x plus 7x, because when you add these two, you get the 8x. Because we split them, now we'll do the grouping. So we do these two and these two. So x is common in the first two, so we get a 7x plus 1. When I take x out of this one, I get 7x. So 7x squared divided by x is 7x. 1x divided by x is 1. And right here I have a positive, and I have the only GCF is 1, so I'll take out a plus 1. So 7x divided by 1 is 7x. 1 divided by 1 is plus 1. We have 7x plus 1 is common, and what's left is x. What's left is 1. So we write that. Now we had to do all that work just to factor this. And 49x squared plus 7x, the 7x, 7 is common and x is common. 49x squared divided by 7x is 7x, plus 7x divided by 7x is a plus 1. We have a 1 in front, so that means there's double brackets. So x squared is x and x. Factors of 4. The factors of 4, let's do the factors of 4 right here. We got 1 times 4 and 2 times 2. So the factors of 4 that'll give me a 3 got to be 1 and 1. Sorry, got to be 1 and 4. Okay? Because the product is negative, then I will have a plus and a minus, and the larger number will be a minus. So it's a plus 1 minus 4. Again, multiply. 1 and negative 4 is negative 4. Add negative 3. We have it all factored, so we'll cancel from top to bottom. 8 cannot cancel anywhere. Negative 4 is here and here, so they cancel. 7x, no x down below, no 7, no monomials. We got an x plus 1 top, an x plus 1 bottom. And so we're finished. We have an 8 times 1 times 7x times 1, so 7 8 are 56x. X plus 1 times x plus 1 is x plus 1 squared. So that's a review of that page. Hopefully you're beginning to understand what to do. It's not that hard, but again, repetition and practice makes you better. Here we go. Practice. Simplify each. Number 1. Again, we're dividing, so we multiply by the reciprocal. Reciprocal is x minus 1 over x squared. Because we're multiplying, everything is factored, we cancel. So 6x and x squared, x into 6x goes 6, x into x squared goes x. The x minus 1's cancel. So we get, the answer is 1, or 6 times 1 is 6. 1 times x is x. Excuse me. We're dividing, so we multiply by the reciprocal. And the reciprocal is on the right. So it's x minus 2 over x minus 1, x minus 3. Notice that everything is factored. Cancel from top to bottom anywhere. X minus 3 is on right here, and right here it cancels. X minus 2 is right here and right here. 1 times 1 is 1, and 1 times x minus 1 is x minus 1. Okay, here we go. Number 3. When we're dividing rational expressions, we multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, reciprocal is on the right. We have to factor everything if we can. So x squared minus 6x, x is the GCF, we get it. X squared divided by x is x. Negative 6x divided by x is negative 6. X plus 9 can't factor. 5 is a factor of 30, so 5 is the GCF. 5x divided by 5 is x. 30 divided by 5 is 6. And we have x squared minus 36. I see the difference of two squares. I see an x and an x. 36 is 6 times 6. And because its product is negative and the sum is 0, I got a plus and a minus. Now that I have everything factored and I'm multiplying, I cancel from top to bottom. The x cannot cancel out. Okay, x minus 6 cancels right there. X plus 6 cancels there. So I get a 5x. X times 1 times 5 times 1 is 5x. And I get a 1 times 1 times x minus 9. Number 4, because we're dividing, we multiply by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal is on the right. So the reciprocal is x squared minus 3x plus 2 and x squared minus x on the bottom. So we flip it around, factor everything. So I see, factor this, I see a 3 and an x common. 3x squared divided by 3x is x. 6x divided by 3x is plus 2. X squared minus 4, difference of two squares. So it's x, 2, 2, plus, minus. There's a 1 there. I see double brackets, x. Factor product is 2, so it's 2 and 1. Product is positive, so I'll get 2 minuses. Multiply just to check. Negative 2 times negative 1 is 2. Add negative 3. Perfect. The bottom denominator, x is the GCF. X squared divided by x is x. Negative x divided by x is negative 1. Everything is factored, so cancel. 3x and x, x into x goes once. 3x divided by x is 3. X plus 2 is cancels top and bottom. X minus 2 cancels top and bottom. X minus 1 cancels top and bottom. And I get 3 times 1 times 1 times 1 is the 3. 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. And that becomes a 3. I could just wrote down 3 without 3 over 1. And number 5, let's see. Again, let's multiply by the reciprocal first. So reciprocal is on the right. So I'm taking the right. Now I want to factor. Notice I flipped the right side because I'm dividing and multiply by the reciprocal upside down. And everything, I want to factor, everything is in descending order, square and an x cubed, x squared, x and a constant, x squared, x, everything is okay. And the GCF is a 5x, so take out the 5x and I get 15x squared divided by 5x is 3x. 5x divided by 5x is 1. GCF is, I see a 2 and an x squared. Notice I got an x cubed and an x squared. I take the smallest exponent because the smallest exponent is in the largest one. So 2x cubed divided by 2x squared is x. And a negative 6x squared divided by 2x squared is a minus 3. And the GCF in this one is 4. 12x divided by 4x is 3x. 8 divided by 4 is 2. And I want to factor this. Notice the 9 is in these two, but not in this one. So 9 is not a GCF. So we have to do the long way. Product, 9 times 2 is 18. Sum is 9. Factors of 18 are 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. So, which pair of factors add to give you a 9? 18 and 1, no. 2 and 9, no. 3 and 6. So 3 and 6 are the factors that will multiply to give you 18 and add to give you 6. So we write down 9x squared and a 2, and 3 and 6 go in the middle, so it's a 3x plus a 6x. Notice you add these two and you get 9x, and you do by grouping. In the first two, 3x is the GCF, 9x squared divided by 3x is 3x, 3x divided by 3x is plus 1, plus, I see a 2 is a GCF, 6x divided by 2 is 3x, 2 divided by 2 is 1, I see 3x plus 1 is the binomial GCF. So what's left when I take 3x plus 1 out? I get a 3x in the first one, and I get plus 2 in the second one. Now I did all that work. Notice that I did the workings on the side, in other words, on a sheet of scrap paper. But the only thing you want is the answer to this factoring here. Now that I have it factored, I'm going to see if I can cancel. So I can see a 5x and an x, so x goes into 5x, 5, x goes into 2x squared, 2x, and x plus 3x plus 1 is right there and there, and I see a 4, 4 and 2, 2 into 2x is x, 2 into 4 is 2, I see an x plus 2, 3x plus 2, 3x plus 2, cancel. So everything is canceled. There's no x plus x minus 3 on the top. So 5 times 1 times 2 times 1, that's a 10. I have an x times x minus 3. Done. And let's continue. Again. Practice, practice, practice. Here we go. Number 6, simplify each. Notice this time I have a multiplication and a division. So we have a division, so I'll multiply by the reciprocal. So I'll write down 9x plus 18, 4x squared minus 36x, and write down this one. Notice when you're multiplying, you're not changing it. Because I have a division, then I'll multiply by the reciprocal. And that means you turn it upside down, inverted. Done. Now I have all multiplication. Since I have all multiplication, I can cancel anywhere from top to bottom, but I have to factor. So I have to make sure that it's in descending order. An x and a number, x squared x squared number, x squared x number constant, x squared and x a number perfect. So the first one, we take out the 9 because it's a GCF. 9x divided by 9 is x. 18 divided by 9 is 2. And here I have a 4 and an x, that's a GCF. 4x squared divided by 4x is x. Negative 36x divided by 4x is negative 9. And we have the difference of two squares. So that's x and x, 9 and 9, plus minus. And on the bottom I have a 1, so I'll go with 2 brackets on the trinomial. X squared is x and x. Factors of 4 is 4 and 1 or 2 and 2. So 4 and 1 won't give you 4, so it has to be 2 and 2. The product is positive and the sum is positive, so it's 2 pluses. If the product is positive, then you'll have 2 of those signs right here. And I see x is a GCF. X squared divided by x is x. 2x divided by x is plus 2. And I see a 3 as a GCF. 3x divided by 3 is x. 27 divided by 3 is plus 9. Now I have all multiplication, so I can cancel anywhere from top to bottom. So I see a 9 and a 3. 3 and the 3 goes once, 3 and the 9 goes 3. X plus 2, right here, cancel. X plus 9, here and here. X minus 9, here and here. X cancels into X once. X into 4X goes 4. X plus 2 is here and here. So I got a 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So that's 3. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and a 4. So 3/4. That simplifies to. That can really tell. Normally, teachers have the simplification with multiplying and division coming out to be okay. You can tell if you got it done right, if it fully simplifies. Now, number 7, we got to multiply by the reciprocal because we're dividing. Multiply by, or we can put a dot or a multiplication sign, makes no difference. 3x squared minus 4x plus 1 over. Now I'm just going to do one step at a time, but normally you could rewrite this in descending order and save yourself a step, because I multiplied by the reciprocal, flipped it upside down. Now I got to turn around and put this in descending order, so I got to write down all this again. So if you're thinking ahead of time, you could have, when you're writing this one down, write it down as x squared plus 5x plus 4. So you're writing, you're multiplying by the reciprocal and making sure they're all in descending order. That saves you a step, especially if you're writing the test. Now we have to factor. That's a 1, so that's a double bracket. X squared is x and x. The factors of 4 are 1 and 4, 2 and 2, which factors give you 3, 4, and 1. It's a negative 4, so the product is negative, so I'll have a plus and a minus, so it's a plus 4 minus 1. X is the GCF, so you take x out, you get 3x squared divided by x is 3x. Negative x divided by x is negative 1. That's a 3. Times, and 3 is not a GCF, so here we go again. Product is 1 times, or 3 times 1 is 3. Sum is in the middle, negative 4. Factors of 3 are 3 and 1. That's the only factors we have. So we multiply to give you a 3 and add to give you a negative 4. Must be, product is positive, so it must be 2 positives or 2 negatives. So the sum is negative, so it's negative 3, negative 4. Add negative 3, negative 1 is negative 4. Multiply 3. So we split. So we got a 3x squared plus 1. So minus 3x minus 1x. So these two factors go in the middle, because when you add these two, you should get this one. And that's grouping. 3x is common. 3x squared divided by 3x is x. Negative 3x divided by 3x is negative 1. And that's a negative right there, so I put a negative here. Whatever that sign is right here, that's what goes here. And 1 is the GCF. So negative 1x squared divided by negative 1 is x. Positive 1 divided by negative 1 is negative 1. And I know I got it done right, because I have an x minus 1 in both of these. So take it away here. I get a 3x. Take it out of this one, and I get a minus 1. And all that work is x minus 1. And notice you do that over on this. I did all this working on the side. The teacher doesn't have to see this working, because if this is wrong, then teacher will mark it wrong. 1 is in the front, so that means it's a double bracket. X squared is x and x. Factors of 4 to give you 5. 4 is 1 and 4, 2 and 2, so it's got to be 4 and 1. Product is positive, so it's 2 pluses or 2 minuses, so it's 2 pluses. multiply. 4 times 1 is 4, add 5, perfect. Now that I have everything factored and I multiply, I cancel anywhere from top to bottom. X plus 4, X minus 1, nope. X minus 1, nope. 3x minus 1, yes. So I have a 1, x minus 1, x minus 1. So x minus 1 times x minus 1 is x minus 1 squared. And I get an x times x plus 1. And you leave it like x minus 1 squared. You don't have to multiply them by FOIL. But check with your teacher to make sure. And a couple of more to do. Practice. This is these are extras with negative exponents. So PEMDAS, P-E-M-D-A-S, says that I can do inside the bracket first, but if I want, I can do the exponents. So the negative flips this around. So x minus 3 over x plus 2, and x minus 2 over x squared minus 4. So that I do the exponent for it by flipping around. Now I will do the division. That's the reciprocal. So the negative 1 flipped the fraction. This negative 1 flips the fraction, and dividing multiplied by the reciprocal. Now I factor. That's already factored. That's the difference of two squares as x and x, 2 and 2, plus minus all over x minus 3, nope, x plus 2, yes, cancels, x minus 2 cancels, so I get the answer is x minus 3 over 1. I'll just do that, but I don't have to, and I'll just, because it's over 1, it's just x minus 3. And again, PEMDAS, P-E-M-D-A-S, I'll do the negative exponent first. So it's x squared plus x minus 2 all over x squared minus 2x minus 3. The negative 1 flips this fraction around. So the negative is gone. Again, notice I only did just this first. Now I'm going to do, when you're dividing, you multiply by the reciprocal. The other thing about this, you gotta make sure you don't, try not to make a mistake, because it's so easy to make a mistake. Now you could have did both. I could have flipped the fraction with the negative like that, and I could have multiplied by the reciprocal right here. So I could avoid this step if you wanted to. But I did one step at a time to make sure I explained it. Now we factor everything. So that's a 1, so that's a double bracket. X squared is x and x. The factors of 2 is 2 and 1. We multiply to give you a negative and add to give you a positive. It's got to be positive 2 minus 1. Again, that's a 1, so that's a double bracket. So x squared is x and x. Factors of 3 are 3 and 1. That's the only factors. And again, you multiply to give you a negative and add to give you a negative. It must be negative and a positive. But so you got to have a negative 3 plus 1. Multiply negative 3. Add negative 2. And x squared minus 9 is the difference of two squares. It's x and x. 3 and 3 plus minus. Notice that's x squared minus 3 squared. The difference of two squares. And again, that's a 1 in front, so it's a double bracket. X squared is x and x. Factors of 6. Factors of 6 is 1 times 6, 3 times 2. So, which both of them give you a 5, but remember, because the product is positive, then you have two pluses, which means that you're adding, because the product is positive, you're adding up the numbers. So 6 and 1 won't do it. So 3 and 2. Multiply. 6, add plus 5. So that's the correct one. So x plus 2, is it on the bottom? Yes. X minus 1, is it on the bottom? No. X plus 3, yes. X minus 3, yes. So notice when I'm canceling these, I always start here and I go across this way. And I look for this one down the bottom and cancel. Then I look for this one on the bottom and cancel. Then I look for this one, so on. So 1, 1, 1, 1, the only one left is x minus 1. 1, 1, 1, the only one left is x plus 1. And I cannot cancel this x because you can only cancel in multiplication, not in subtraction. So there's a review of the dividing rational expression. Multiply it by the reciprocal, factor everything, and cancel top to bottom, and then simplify your answer. If you like my video, click the like button, the subscribe button, and notification bell. Visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. And that's the content on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.